Panic attacks are contrary to anxiety attacks in a way that panic attacks are physiological in nature, while as anxiety is psychological. Panic attacks, as a definition, are physical symptoms which arise after there's a rush of adrenaline through the glands. This is something which can arise without any initiation. It happens after we experience prolonged stress, and thereafter brain releases bulk of adrenaline into the body to trigger a fight or flight response system. And why that happens, I'll tell you. In our brain, we have a component known as autonomic nervous system. These are the nerves and neurons which control events such as heart rate, digestion, respiratory rate, and urination. It happens on its own. It's not in your control. That is why it's known as autonomic nervous system. To see how that works, try to hold your breath for 1 minute and see what happens. Your heart rate goes up. You're forced to take your hand out from your mouth so that you don't suffocate and die. It's automatic, right? And it serves a great purpose, to save you, to save your life. But it's a structure in your body, and it has settings. If the settings are properly aligned, it would work correctly as needed. But with prolonged stress, it gets a bit off balance and the settings get messed up. In this case, the sympathetic nervous system becomes a bit more reactive, becomes overreactive. The homeostasis of sympathetic nervous system gets disturbed and unaligned, and it acts up at times when actually there is no perceived threat. For example, if you spot a big grizzly bear running wild towards you, trying to eat you, your sympathetic nervous system should activate fight or flight system and release certain glands that activate heart rate, blood pressure, and breathing so that you act quickly. Now, when it's a bit messed up, it does the same even when there is no 300-pound grizzly bear around trying to eat you. So the key here is to restore the balance again. Luckily for this, we have parasympathetic nervous system, which is the opposite of sympathetic nervous system. And we need to stimulate it in order to balance the sympathetic nervous system. Now, there are many ways to do that, by eating healthy, exercise, etc., right? But the best way is by increasing the activity of vagus nerve of parasympathetic nervous system. A breathing technique is the way to activate the vagus nerve. Come, let me show you how it's done. This breathing technique is precisely known as diaphragm breathing. In other words, breathing from your belly. Oftentimes, we do a terrible mistake of breathing from mouth. This is so wrong. Mouth breathing is a bad habit, and it's detrimental to mental as well as physical health. It increases your blood sugar, blood pressure, and weakens your immune system. And it does nothing to parasympathetic nervous system. It won't activate your vagus nerve. Well, here goes the breathing technique. Touch your belly with your right hand in a sitting position and breathe into your belly and observe your belly expanding with your hand. Do not breathe from your chest. That would be shallow breathing. Breathe in your belly. Expand and slowly release the breath. Do this 5-6 times a day for 5 to 10 minutes each. This for sure will activate the vagus nerve of your nervous system.